Classes in session. This is Professor Ganymede. We got another VOD review for our 10,000 subscriber special. So let's break it down. We got Oiboy. Alright, he says the first one is all Lucio, but we end up beating the other team pretty hard. The second game I start Ana and then switch to Lucio for the second round. It was a very close game. I honestly saw more of my own mistakes on the first game, which is why I linked it, but it sounds like you enjoy the close games more. I'm going to do the first one because it sounds like he wants me to do the first one, so that's what I'm going to do. Are you going to play any games today in your account? Probably. I don't think I'll have time because I have to finish up all these videos because for my 10,000 subscriber special, so probably not. I don't think I have time. I might stream later tonight though, but I have to go to work after I stream, like in like an hour and a half or whatever. So let's do it.
Set up the cheese, guys.
Question: what are the best resources to use to get better at Overwatch as you just start, other than watching your videos? So far, I've been reading on Overwatch University and watching YouTube videos. I would. Oh, Nick Gifty, thanks for following. I would suggest Skyline. Skyline is really good. It also depends on what role. Yeah, so Skyline, this guy. Just watch a bunch of this guy's videos. He has. I'd probably start off with like, you know, his classic AIM fundamentals video. He is probably one of the best. You've been doing right by going to search Overwatch University. Overwatch University is actually one of the probably the best subreddit for tips and stuff. Yeah, my name is James, by the way. I introduced myself over the phone at work, so I kind of got into my phone rhythm. I thought I was at work, guys. Can second Skyline, he addresses a lot of game sets. Yeah, so Skyline, just check out his videos. Depending on what role you play. What role do you play? Yada. For just general tips, Skyline's one of the best. I'm one of the best. I mean, I think I go over a lot of general tips as well. Like, there's a guide series I do that are just rant. Like, I have a playlist. No, this is for Lucio, but here is there's a bunch of short videos I did a while ago. Like, these are old, but I think you should still watch them. Here it is: the support Lucio tips and advice. These are all short videos, but every one of them is pretty useful for different things. But these are old, so you have to take those with a grain of salt. But if you're playing Lucio, then I would actually really suggest Lucio Quick Tactics playlist. This goes over a lot of really basic stuff that are all really helpful, like how to use a taxi, when to back off, how to push, stuff like that. And these are usually short videos. How to communicate, you know, different spots. Oh, this one is good. Which also is a counter. Stuff like that. So Skyline, check out my playlist and the Overwatch University subreddit. You main Reinhardt. I actually tried to learn Reinhardt. There is not a lot of stuff for Reinhardt, which is really sad. What I suggest if you're trying to learn Reinhardt is to actually look up videos. First of all, go to Overwatch subreddit. You can find and just look up Reinhardt guides. You know, just Google Reinhardt guides. But also watch players pro Reinhardt. I think watch some Reinhardt players. Debit, not Seago. Davik. There's one person, Renbot. Watch Renbot. Just look up his videos. Look up Renbot. But there's also Coco. Coco. Coco has a bunch of games. Watch Coco play. He often explains stuff as well. Watch Coco play. He's a really good Reinhardt. You happen to love Farah. I don't know. I'm not sure who is it for. I honestly like to play everything and want to get better from a holistic standpoint. Okay. I'm probably the best Ryan you ever see. If I can run and make a video, you can criticize me. Okay. I like a video for figuring out position on all maps. If you're just looking for basic stuff, again, my probably Skyline. Skyline's probably one of the best. Man of Snow. Man of Snow. Oh yeah, Man of Snow. Yeah, Man of Snow. Is he a Reinhardt player? I feel like he is. As it starts getting you thinking in terms of line of space where I prefer to something everyone should say. I'm gonna twitch for a minute. Okay, see you later, yada yada. Alright, let's get back to this submission from Oiboy. Let's actually start the thing. I'm also a good widow. Any tips there? I don't know many DPS players, so I'm not the one. If you want to learn tank or support, then I can guide you. But if you want to learn DPS, then usually this involves getting good at aiming. I don't know. Check out Skyline stuff because again he plays a lot of stuff. All right, here we go. Lucio.
Even Sebastian Cheese.
Oh, you got the 4-man. He's got the 4-man. He said this was a close. He said this was a smash, but we can still point out some stuff.
That's alright.
Help him out. Okay, so in this position, it's not a mistake, but your positioning is very important here. So you're kind of everywhere.
Amping heals.
Okay, that app wasn't necessary.
Damn it, McCree got my damn.
So that's fine. That app was fine because people were getting hurt as you were amping, but at the time that you amped, it wasn't necessary. Because only Drekowet was hurt, and he wasn't even hurt that bad. But in this position, you're kind of jumping around here. You're trying to keep up, track of your team and enemies at the same time. What would help this situation is if you were positioned a little bit in a different location, and that's the location directly behind you. Do you see this little thing up here? I want to show it. There it is. This right here. This being up here allows you to have a good line of sight of your team, allows you to be elevated, so in case any bullshit happens, you'll be protected. Like, McCree won't be able to easily run up and flashbang or Reinhardt. And then you have the line of sight to the enemy down there. So this location I found is probably the best place to be located in this position.
Up top.
When you're right here. You're dropping down damage, it's good, it's good. All good stuff. Apping heals, that was good. Reinhardt was hurt, get that app. All good stuff. All good stuff. All good stuff.
Did this just happen?
Yeah, you just got schmeckled.
Alright. No, you just want to shoot that Reinhardt shield. That's always good. Always want to get... I like how you're calling out your apps on your team because they're paying attention, which means they know that your app is no longer available, which is the point. That's the... I'm going to pause this. That's the point of calling out your apps, is to let your team know that your app is no longer available, which means that that can inform how aggressively or passively they want to play. Now, you see this Reinhardt here. Here's a little thing that you could be doing here is, you see Zarya, and who is that? Somebody. Is that a Hanzo? I don't know. But what you could want to do here is switch the speed. Pretty much as soon as this guy entered this gate, switch the speed. And then knock him forward, which would usually which could be you wouldn't want to be on the ground. Like, you wouldn't want to just kind of run past the shield and knock him forward. You want to take a little more of a nuanced position than that. You'd want to get on this wall, slide along this wall, jump, knock him forward, and end up on this wall. Ideally, well, you want to be able to cling to this wall, but end up on this side, so you avoid this. But knocking him forward displaces it from his team. Could make it so he is out of the way of his team, or you could have a plan to when he reaches around this point to try to knock him down, which would separate him from his team and give these guys a wide, make these guys open.
Oh, I see. I'm sorry.
Oh, you actually did try to do that. It seems like, or another method you can do is actually try to get Reinhardt. The goal is to separate Reinhardt from his team. Because then you could kind of, they have no protection, and you can kind of like get a pick off of Reinhardt. You can either knock Reinhardt forward or try to knock his team backwards, though that, which could allow your team to capitalize on an opportunity. Like, if Reinhardt was forced here, your team could have turned around, just kind of collapsed on Reinhardt. So I find that a very useful tactic is to try to separate Reinhardt from his team somehow. Separate whoever their tank is from their team. Now your team just kind of capitalized there. You got hit by You got hit by Earth Shatter there. That usually, to avoid those, you really don't want to be getting hit by Earth Shatters. When you think that Reinhardt has Earth Shatter, which you should be have a hunch because you should be keeping track of ult, he got that really fast. This is probably before the patch. But if you think that Reinhardt has an ult, you should start positioning yourself specifically to dodge the Earth Shatter and then going back in, because that Earth Shatter is a huge cooldown. Okay, this was this ult was not necessary. You guys had already won the fight pretty handily. I think you guys killed 3 people, and no one on your team died, and they already used Earth Shatter. It's very easy to waste a sound barrier. It's very, very easy to waste a sound barrier. Basically, what you want to do is lose sound barrier at the last second. Like, you want to lose sound barrier when your team just barely needs it to avoid not wasting it. As I explained, and I constantly explain that Lucio's sound barrier has one of the highest margin of errors in the game. It's very easy to not get any use out of it and completely waste it, and you can't afford to do that, especially when the recent patch is now active and it takes longer for ultimates to gain. You need to have that ultimate ready to either counter an enemy's ultimate or combo it with your ally. With your ally's ultimate. That's the most reliable way to get work out of that ultimate. Now, you can still get work out of just using your ultimate just to generally win the fight, which is maybe to save someone's life or rushing your team in during a push. But that's unreliable. Now, you just kind of ran in there and died because you guys got caught. This might have been the moment. See, if you had saved your sound barrier for earlier, you could have used your ultimate here. But I don't even think you should have died here. But it was very close. You could have used your ultimate there. It would have at least been an option.
I can take care of her.
So you see the consequence of not having that ultimate available, or not using that ultimate when it's at the best time to use it.
Actually, I'm gonna go.
You definitely could use your ultimate there instead.
Just because it's better.
Good, you're on the point. You need to be on the point. Now this is where you're actually doing good here.
Nice, nice.
Zarya's low.
You're actually doing good here for what you could do. This is where you want to kind of strafe back and forth, using your switching between your cross fade in order to switch your momentum up and make yourself really, really difficult to hit. And maybe we're gonna throw some more wall climbing in there by jumping on the walls and then coming back. Also, a little bit more patience. You might have benefited from a little bit more patience. So, yeah, it sucks if they get these 2 points, but as long as they don't get the whole point, then you held the point. So as long as they don't get these 2 nodes, as long as they don't get 3 nodes, then you've held the point. So what I'd like you to do is, still do that same thing. When it's just Zarya, do that same thing. Because Zarya, even after her buff, she should still have a hard time tracking you if you're strafing correctly, if you're using your movement correctly, if you're switching your songs and shifting your momentum, all that good stuff. But once you saw she got reinforcements, I would have liked to have seen you back off, let them take the no, and then once your team reinforced, because your team was coming in, that's when you go back in and kind of start a second fight, because then that's when you'd have the best chance to actually hold that point. And just a little bit more patience. See, you had a Reinhardt and a Roadhog coming in. You could have really helped if you were alive there.
Last few seconds here.
You don't need to be there the entire time. Your goal should just be to make it so they can't stop the point. So you have that opportunity where just use the charge as a resource. You had time, so a little bit more patience there could have potentially won you that point. Okay, you don't want to get hit by those. You never, ever want to get hit by Reinhardt's Fire Strike, because Reinhardt, especially after the change to ultimates, had a very limited way to charge his ultimate, and you have multiple ways to charge your ultimate. You can charge your ultimate by healing, by doing damage. Reinhardt can only charge his ultimate by hitting people with his swings and his Fire Strike and his charge. By not getting hit by that Fire Strike, you are really reducing how much ultimate he can be gaining, and you really don't want to be feeding too much ultimate to too many people, but especially not Reinhardt.
What happened to their Ryan?
Oh, he's to the right.
The ulting Ryan?
Oh, you're to the right.
Oh my god,
He's,
I
he's-
was under you guys, and when he was coming off the bridge and he was on a boost, and I hooked him down.
Getting some practice there. Oh, he does that 5-strike. That's good.
Can I get? There we go.
Okay, so what should you be looking to do here? You should be looking to get your ultimate and then put yourself in a safe position to
Well, they're moving right.
Reinhardt going.
use your ultimate. Actually, in fact, I haven't actually done this, but I'm just thinking of this.
Holding him
What
back.
you may want to do is you want to get your ultimate and then position yourself to right next to the bridge. He probably has his. I feel like he should have his ultimate again by now.
I was waiting for McCree to
I always want to keep track of those enemy ultimates.
That might be a better choice.
Amping
Got
heals.
you, buddy.
Okay. What could be a game-changing play? And I want to pause it when you get to the area. Here we go. So you see this bridge? What could be a game-changing play for you is if you were able to, as you know, they were coming in, knock important members of their team off of this bridge and down here to separate their team. Like if, let's say Reinhardt is charging in, if you were able to like let him charge past and then knock his like 2 members of his team down here, or maybe as Reinhardt's going in, knock Reinhardt off of this bridge, that could be a game-winning play because you essentially separate the tank from the rest of the team, and then that gives you more license to do more things like I don't know, go attack their back line, go attack their supports or something, or just contest the point and just fight people on the point. But one of the things that Lucio has the ability to do is really separate the team from each other with his kit. He has that ability to do that. So that's one opportunity I'd like for you to look at, and look for those opportunities. And I'm actually gonna be doing that myself.
You're retired. Can I boost you as Mercy?
Looking for those opportunities a little bit more. Separate the team from each other. That was
Oh, fair behind that. Fair.
this was a good ult. This was a really good ult. Now you're probably not gonna win the fight, but it was still a good ult. It was still a good ult. And here's why. You used it in reaction to the enemies, to the enemy ulting. Now, they had Earth Shatter, they had a bunch of stuff, they had Fair Ultimate. You survived the Fair Ultimate because you had Sound Barrier, but that's where you want to use the Lucio Ultimate, especially on the second point, is defensively. So that was a great ultimate. Now, even if it loses you the fight, doesn't change the fact that was a good ultimate. That just the fact that you lost this fight just shows you that Lucio's ultimate is not one of those things that is gonna win every fight. It's not that strong. It might give you the small advantage.
I just used it. That's the thing.
We could hold it right.
It might give you the advantage, but it doesn't mean you're guaranteed to win a fight. Like there's very few ultimates that are just guaranteed you win the fight. But like a good Earth Shatter is pretty much guaranteed. Makes it so you're guaranteed to win that fight, unless the enemy team, uses like a Zenyatta ultimate or something like that. But then you can still kill someone with a charge. But Lucio's ultimate isn't strong enough.
I meant like.
Had you had a Zenyatta ultimate here, that'd have been complete. You'd been able to save everyone's life. That'd have been completely a change of pace. Other than whoever Reinhardt charged, you wouldn't have been able to save his life. But yeah,
I'm
Lucio,
gonna camp up here to hook a Reinhardt behind her shield.
I'm gonna charge my
Lucio's kit,
Stay safe over there.
Lucio's ultimate,
Yeah.
just
Amping
it's
heals.
good, just not the game-changing ultimate that you think it is in every situation.
Dropping shield.
Okay.
Like you being here,
Can't.
Don't charge.
okay, your goal should be right now is to build ultimate. That should be your goal. What I'd like to see you do, so I mentioned the position where you try to knock people off the map. I'd like to see you kind of be up here or like right here. Once you gain your ultimate, just to be safe, and then once the fight starts, move down to knock people off the map.
McCree, is there someone?
Again, your goal should be to separate the team somehow, which usually involves separating the tank from their front line, or separating the front line from the back of the team, from their supports. Make it so like
I'm no longer
if you attack the supports and you are good enough, their team has to turn around to try to protect the supports. Separating the team.
Zarya is
Okay.
down, my ult's at 80.
No, he said oops. So he realized that this wasn't the best ultimate because May had walled off this point. So your team wasn't in immediate danger. But he said oops, so he acknowledged that wasn't the best ult ever. But that's another ult that your team doesn't have. The ultimate right here would have been amazing. If he had ultimate right there, like, bruh, That would have turned this fight around. They may lose this fight because that ultimate wasn't available at that time, which just showed you just how important it is to have perfect Lucio ultimates.
My ult's up.
Oh, that was bad res.
But they won the fight anyway because May OP. Basically, they won the fight because May's Blizzard is OP. That's why they won that fight. That's crazy. May is so good.
You're saying charge like
May is so good.
Oh no, charge your shield. That makes way more sense.
No, charge shield.
It's crazy how they won that fight because of that May Blizzard.
Thank you. I'm at 70, 80.
Tracer right.
Oh, they got a trace. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, or you can stand right there.
I have
Or you can stand right there. So as you're waiting for a good opportunity, you can stand right here and knock people off the map. Though it's more ideal if you knock them this way because they have a further distance to travel.
Good May wall there.
Oh, I'm down.
Got a tracer on me.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, you almost got him off. Oh, but there. See, that's. You see what May just did? You see how May just walled off that Reinhardt? That's what you want to do as Lucio, what you're a kid. You see how effective that is? Now that they don't have a tank, now what do? They lose. They lose. There's no way they're winning. There's no way. Oh, they have the Mercy. Okay.
Watch out for Ryan's ult.
Never mind. They have the Mercy res. There's the hammer down.
Get the mercy. Get the mercy. Get the mercy.
And that's again,
Behind.
again, avoiding that hammer down is just keeping track of the enemy's ultimates. You should know by now that Reinhardt should have his ultimate, and you should be positioned either out of his line of sight or behind him. You know, you should be positioned where you know you're not going to get hit by that hammer down. Like, that should be your entire focus for the match is don't get hit by that hammer down. Once you know he has it. Like you should have priorities in your head. Priority number 1, do not get hit by Earthshatter when you suspect that Reinhardt has it. All right, so that was that. That was Oiboy. I really hope that helped you out. This has been another VOD review for my 10,000 subscriber special. So, hey, thanks for watching. This has been Professor Ganymede. Class dismissed.